Why do you need to be self-improving at all times? Well, I think it puts you in reality. You realize so much about yourself that you probably never realized. Maybe you didn't think you can truly push yourself that far, but you did it. I know there's people nowadays, right, who are buff, and yet they say they're not buff. All I can say is, well, you're living in a delusion. Because you're not fat, you're buff. And no matter what, I think sometimes no matter how many steroids you take, you might not look like the person you want to become. You gotta accept that. And I think a self-improvement journey will truly teach you that. And certainly it has taught me a lot of things. I'm still self-improving, and I don't know how I'll become in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years. But what I know is that I'll be better than the person I am right now. I think for self-improving, one of the main things is if you have respect for yourself, for your ancestors, for your parents, for whoever, you should be self-improving. Because let me ask you, would you like your ancestors to see a fat piece of shit laying on his couch, or a buff guy lifting 550? I think it'll be the 550. I think your ancestors want to see a man, or if you're a man, and if you're a woman, I think your ancestors want to see you passing on a legacy which they are proud of. God would want you to do your absolute best to conquer your life, to conquer everything that you want to conquer. And if you have respect for any of them, I think self-improving is just a no-brainer. That's what you have to do. And guess what? People are gonna look at you with respect. I kind of thought about it, and I was like, okay, so if self-improvement is so great, why are people my generation not doing it? And I realized they're ungrateful. They're extremely ungrateful. Let me ask you, do you think there's someone in a worse position than you? Most likely, if you live in reality, yes. There's gonna be someone who's probably in a worse scenario than you, a worse life than you. And I know for a fact that person is probably wishing to have a life like yours. And yet, what are you doing with it? You're wasting it. God gave you the opportunity to do the very best of your life. Gave you both arms, gave you both legs, gave you a life. Yet what are you gonna do? You're gonna laze on your fucking couch and jerk off to hentai? You have an arm, you have legs, and they have muscles in them. Guess what you can do with muscles? You can push them to their limits and make them stronger. And guess what? You're gonna be a lot more happy doing that than lazing on your couch. I can promise you that. So I mean, you can say you're grateful, but if you're not self-improving, I don't think so. I think you would be living in a delusion if you say you're grateful for your family and yet you look like a turd on the street, pointless, stinky. Nobody wants to be next to you. And guess what? Guess what happens when you go on this journey? It's gonna be a beautiful journey. It's gonna be up. It's gonna go up, down, left, right, A, B. It's gonna go everywhere. You gotta have a positive mindset. For me, I've been bullied for 5 years. I got depressed for 2 years. You know, it was hard times. But I saw light, and that was Japanese for me. Or at least one of them was Japanese. I was doing writing and drawing at the same time, but one of them was Japanese. Now I can probably read books. Can't really speak too much. I can understand if they're talking to me. I work at a job. They're all Japanese. I can understand if they were talking to me, but I wouldn't be able to respond. But still, it's beautiful. When I think at 6th grade, if you said Japanese to me, I wouldn't be able to understand. I got a fucking D in my Japanese class. Guess what now? I can read books. And when I look back at that, it's beautiful. It's always beautiful. So I think that everyone should be self-improving at all times. If you're not, start right now. You don't need to start out really big. You can start off very small. Like, For example, if you want to do Japanese, you can learn maybe 10 new kanji a day. And well, kanji is the alphabet, one of the alphabets in Japanese. And each symbol represents something. So one symbol could mean tree, one symbol could mean health. But you can learn 10 a day. And guess what? At the end of the year, you're gonna learn 3,650. That's probably enough for you to read books. Probably enough. Most books, I would say. So, you should start now. There's nothing holding you back from starting to improve on yourself. Even if it's small things like when you finish eating, just pick up after yourself. Small things like that. You can start off small. And eventually, at the end of the year, you're gonna look back, and what you're gonna see is you're a different human being. I feel like when you look back at yourself, when you first started versus now, you'll see the beauty of the journey, even if you didn't see it in the journey. At a certain point, you're gonna look back, and a lot of things happened, and I would say you most likely improved.